Hey guys, the Affiliate back with some Hearthstone action. Today we're going to be looking at a combo Druid deck. It's been floating around the ladder, doing pretty well. Saw it in a couple of tournaments also over the weekend. So this is a little bit different than the normal combo Druid, which I'll explain in the tech. So, whole point of combo Druid, just for people who've never played it before, is to right around turn 7, if you have the coin or if you have Innervate, basically have minions out on the board, play your Force of Nature, which gives you 3 Trents, and then combo that with a Savage Roar. Just the Trents and the Force and the Savage Roar together will give you about 14 damage. If you have anything else on the board, that damage gets pumped up pretty quickly. So this is a really fast deck. The idea is just to get minions out, sticky minions out on the board, get to turn 7, use your Innervate, and do a Force of Nature wombo combo and hit someone for 16, 20, 24 plus damage. So pretty neat. Let's just go through the card selection. Unlike some of the older combo Druid decks, this one's running both Innervate, which gives you 2 mana crystals, and Wild Growth. So it kind of looks a little bit rampish, but I've been playing around with the Wild Growth. I do like it in this particular deck, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. 2 Wraths, 1 Ironbeak Owl. The Ironbeak Owl is kind of a tech choice. I've been running into a lot of taunt walls. Lots of people running ramp in particular, actually. So having that Ironbeak to silence the taunt or get rid of, just having extra silence is always nice. In this deck, you'll have 3 of them. So nice having the 3 silences. Again, that's a tech choice. We have the 2 Savage Roars, just in case you can actually use one a little bit earlier in the curve if you don't come across your Force of Nature. You have a full board. It's not that bad. Or you can even double Savage Roar. That works too. It doesn't have to be a Force of Nature Savage Roar, but so that's why I like to run double Savage Roar. 1 Big Game Hunter, because we're in the Ironbeak and the 2 Keeper of the Groves. 1 big game is probably worth it. Probably as many as you really need. 2 Swipes. 2 Shades of Naxxramas. The idea of behind the shades, if you've never played it before with a combo, is to get the shade out as early as possible and just let it sit there until your combo is ready. It's not going to be AoE down if you get out early enough, and it's not going to. It'll just be there whenever you call upon your Force of Nature. So I've gotten it up to 8/8 before, and it hits like a truck. I'll tell you that much. So you can do like your 14 damage plus an 8/8. Shade is pretty nice. Very hard to get rid of once it's on the board for anyone else. Again, 2 Swipes. You can use that as a finisher. That's generally how I've used it. These games go so quick that sometimes you'll burst someone down to about 3 HP, 2 HP, and having a swipe in your hand is pretty nice. Also, of course, good for aggro, but you're not really seeing that too much on ladder at the moment. 2 Keeper of the Groves. One of the best cards in the game. 2 damage or silence. It's really, really good. Also really good art. I like this art. I would need to get the gold of that. 2 Piloted Shredders for stickiness. 2 Druid of the Claws. Again, one of the better 5 drops, I think. It depends on the situation. I think it's a little bit better than Sludge Belcher. It's debatable. But in a Druid combo deck, I really like it. I usually play it in charge mode. Depending, really, especially against. There's a lot of spells going around now, so yeah, I like to get that 4 damage out. Before you get to turn 7, turn 9, you're really looking to get as much damage out, get them down into to wombo combo range, if you want to call it that. So I usually play that in charge mode just to get the damage out early. Lotheb, kind of a tech choice. You don't really need him, but he's pretty nice in this current meta with lots of spells running around. This will keep your Force of Nature. This will keep your minions on the board for 1 extra turn before your Force of Nature happens. So you'll play him the turn ahead of time, so nothing can get wiped. And you can play, and he'll be on the board, or usually be on the board unless they, use minions to remove him. So it just basically adds to the stickiness of your minions. Spectral Knights. One of the better cards, I think, out of Naxxramas. I really like Spectral Knights a lot. I wish I could find more uses for them, so I guess they're not that good. But in combo decks, in this Druid combo deck, it's really, really good. Basically, if you double innervate on turn 1 and you have the coin, so you can get you get up to 5, drop a Spectral Knight. That's happened to me before. You just win. That's kind of how it runs. They can't get rid of it. No spells can get rid of it unless they have a real aggro-y deck that just drops lots of minions like you're playing a zoo. Then that's just kind of the end of them. Actually, I mean, it's just 4 damage on turn 1. 2 Force of Nature is just in case you don't come across any. Carney, stickiness again. Black Knight to get rid of all of the crazy taunts that you're seeing on the ladder at the moment. All the craziness. Kind of a tech choice. Sylvanas kind of works. What else works? Piloted Sky Golem kind of works also. Different reasons. You can kind of sub out Carney for Piloted Sky Golem. They it really doesn't matter too much. These 2 legendaries. I like to keep Carney in this particular deck for stickiness. But if you're not running into many ramp decks, you can swap out the Black Knight for Piloted Sky Golem, the epic version. So, or even the legendary version, it really doesn't matter too much. 2 Ancient Lures. Those are just really good cards, really good 7-drops. One of the better 7-drops in the game. I usually play it with the 2-draw, and then the 1 Dr. Boom. I've been thinking about subbing this out for, I don't know. It works really well in this deck, even without Dr. Boom, just because you have your 2 Boom bots, and you can use that in your Wombo combo pretty effectively. The 2 Boom bots will basically give you 6 damage. 6 extra damage on whatever you're doing, plus crash it into other minions, and bombs just start flying all over the place and do lots of damage. So, tech choices, which let's go over some tech choices that you can do. Depending on what you're seeing, again, I'd get rid of the Iron Beak, and you could probably replace that with probably the best bet is actually a really, let's see, actually I was thinking of this just right before. There we go. I really like Harvest Golems in this deck. They're very sticky, happen very oddly in the curve. They just kind of fit, I've found, in this deck pretty well. So if you don't need the silence, you can run a Harvest Golem. It fits well in the curve. Right around 3, you don't have a lot in 3s except for the Shades. So in the Big Game Hunter, you don't really want to play your Big Game Hunter. So Harvest Golem works well there. The other card which you could swap out is actually quite honestly, Chill Winds were actually Mechanical Yetis. That's another good card to have. Swap that out. So swap out Iron Beak for Mechanical Yeti, or you can even go. That's about it. Yeah. And instead of Dr. Boom, Dr. Boom's kind of one of those cards that's kind of odd. Right now, everyone's running double Big Game Hunters just for Dr. Boom, so it's kind of almost anti-meta to run it, even though it's part of the major meta. Instead of Dr. Boom, if either you don't have it or you don't want to run it, oddly enough, I like the Stranglethorn Tigers. It fits really well inside the curve. It's kind of like a late turn Shade of Naxxramas. So you play Shade of Naxxramas on like 3, 2 turns later it's basically a Stranglethorn Tiger. I mean, it's just a little bit cheaper and it happens early in the curve. So you can get a lot of damage on the board and have it stick there. And you may not even need to use your Force of Nature. So if you want to use the Stranglethorn Tigers, I've seen that happen. That was kind of in the know for a lot of people with the Wombo combo decks back in October and November, when people started doing some sort of like a animal combo deck. So anyway, that's pretty much all I would swap out. Oh yeah, the other one I guess would be Loatheb. Really, there's not much actually I would swap out for Loatheb. I really like Loatheb in this deck. Maybe the Mechanical Yeti. That'd probably be what I'd probably do. So, anyway, I'm going to upload some games of playing, and I hope you all enjoy. Thanks, guys.